Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. I wanted to share some recent beauty favorites, starting with the weather update that you didn't ask for. It has just been miserable here. It's been dark, very cold, very gloomy. I've been wearing lighter colors. All my white t-shirts and my cream sweaters have been working overtime. That's just all I want to wear, just to kind of add a little bit of brightness in my life. I always take my bronzer and my foundation, a little bit down my neck because my neck is always just so much more pale and sometimes it's very jarring. I didn't want to do that anymore because I didn't want to get makeup on my clothes. So instead I've been going back to one of my old hacks to just use self-tanner on my neck. I had stopped doing it for a while, but now I'm right back on the train, and I bought this at Ulta and it's amazing. It's the Dolce Glow Acqua Hydrating Face Mist Self-Tanning Water. Now I don't use this on my face, but I use it on my neck and on my chest. And it's a very fine mist. I don't want to demonstrate it because I don't want to mist my face with self-tanner right now, but trust me when I say this, it is a very fine mist. I only use a small amount. I use maybe 2 to 3 sprays just on my neck and my chest. The mist is so fine, it evenly distributes itself. It kind of sets right away, and that's it. It just gives me a little bit of warmth. Like as it develops, it's not a dark self-tanner or anything. Probably because I use such a small amount and I only use it maybe twice a week. It adds just enough warmth just to take the edge off so that I don't need to I don't need to apply bronzer. I don't need to worry about my face and my neck matching. Things just end up matching and it fades away really naturally. It's not patchy. It doesn't stink. It does have a little bit of that fake tan scent as it develops, but it doesn't linger. I usually just apply this in the evening. So then when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to deal with the fake tan smell because by the time I wake up in the morning, the development time is over and I'm just left with a nice, very soft, subtle glow. Obviously this works well as a facial self-tanner too. I just personally don't like using self-tanner on my face anymore. The other skincare favorite that I've gone back to is an Old Faithful, and it's just the Bioderma, the OG Bioderma micellar water. This is what I've been using to remove my makeup in the evening, and it's great. It just feels so nostalgic to use this again, and I can't tell you why I decided to use this again. I don't know. I just felt like switching it up. So I'm using this as my first cleanse in the evening to remove my makeup, and it's great. And as my second cleanser, I've been really loving the DIEUX Baptism Gentle Foaming Gel Cleanser. This is a beautiful cleanser. My husband uses it too. He also loves it. So we just have this on our vanity and we just share it, and it's a beautiful cleanser. They have 2 versions of it, which I think is really cool. I wish more brands did this. So they have a fragrance-free version, which is the version that I have, and then they also have a fragranced version if you want a little bit of a nice fresh scent to your facial cleanser. In terms of texture and user experience, this reminds me a lot of the Soy face cleanser from Fresh, but just like a slightly more amped up version. It's a bit more cushiony. It has a lot of glycerin. It's not drying at all, but it is very efficient. At removing makeup, you can use this as a one-stop shop if you don't want to use another cleanser to remove your makeup. Removes makeup, removes sunscreen in one go. It's also just great as a first cleanse in the morning. It leaves my face feeling clean, but not dry and not stripped. And it does have a little bit of, it has a little bit of a foam, but it's very gentle. I'm also loving the Jordan Samuel Skin Face Mist. I think last year or the year before that they switched the mist of it, and now it's a really nice fine mist. Before that, the mist was very aggressive, but now that it has a fine mist, I've been using this in my makeup routine. So I've been using this before I apply my foundation just to add a little bit of a lightweight hydrating layer. I have combination oily skin, but it does get really dehydrated this time of year. So I do a light layer of this to rehydrate my skin before I apply my foundation. I do another layer of it after I apply my foundation. Then I apply my blush and my powder, and then I do another layer to just add some hydration in between my makeup steps. And it's been really great. It has a very faint cucumber scent because there is cucumber extract in here. So it just smells like ingredients. It's really nice and refreshing. I also wanted to shout out the OPI Repair Mode Bond Repair Nail Serum. I haven't been painting my nails lately. I've just been enjoying letting them go bare, but every day, sometimes twice a day if I can remember, I apply the OPI Bond Repair Nail Serum, and it's such an amazing product at making your nails stronger. So if you are maybe taking a break from shellac or from gel and you want to work on rehabilitating your natural nails and giving your nails a break from polish for a little bit, having this in your routine is amazing. I definitely noticed a difference. This is my second bottle of it. Usually if I go a few weeks without painting my nails just end up breaking and they're quite brittle, but if I'm using this, my nails just stay strong. So I'm able to have nothing on my nails and my nails are not breaking, which is great. For makeup, the category that I've been enjoying the most has been blush. I find that when the weather is gloomy, when it's cold, when it's dark out, I really like to lean into the brighter blushes. I haven't been wearing a lot of bronzer and I've just been going in with the blush, just layering different blushes and having a lot of fun. And the one common denominator for most of my blush looks over the entire month and a half has been Merit Fox. This is what I've been using as a base. This is kind of like a blush, bronzer, and highlighter replacement all in one because it is a dewier product. It's a dewy, sheer, beautiful terracotta kind of color. It's not my favorite formula in the world. I do wish it was a little less dewy and that it had a little bit of a better staying power. When I use this blush by itself, the staying power isn't the greatest, but the color is incredible. If I want to amp up the longevity, I just layer stuff on top. And yeah, this has been the building block for most of my cheek looks. Wearing it today underneath Ciele January, one of my most worn combinations. January by Ciele is the most beautiful, soft, cool-toned pink. It is so, so pretty. They just layer really, really beautifully together. They look really nice together. If I want a more amped up pink look, instead of January, I use Gisele, also by Ciele. Gisele is a brighter pink, very, very punchy. It shears out really, really nicely if I just do a tiny dot on top of the Merit Fox. They just look so, so pretty, especially in the evening. If I want to add a little bit of extra dimension, I use Surratt Barbe Apapa on top. This is the most beautiful, cool toned pink with a shimmer. I don't want to call it shimmer because shimmer makes it sound like it's chunky. It's not chunky. It's a very subtle sheen. And it just looks so beautiful. It adds the most interesting dimension to the cheeks. This is even more cool toned. This is like truly a cool toned pink. So depending on my mood, depending on the level of pink, I've been wearing one of these three colors on top of Merit Fox. For lips, I've been really boring and I've been wearing just lip liner and a lip balm for most of the time, and I just can't quit. Makeup by Mario Smoky Pink is my favorite lip liner. Right now, at least, it is my #1 favorite lip liner. The color is perfect. That's what I'm wearing on my lips today. I just have it all over. It perfectly matches the natural tone of my lips, just amped up a tiny, tiny notch. It doesn't pull too warm. It doesn't pull too gray on my lips. It's just the perfect neutral shade. It is so, so beautiful. It's a classic wood pencil. It's not too creamy, but it's also not too dry. It just, the texture is perfect. It's not a super, super, super hardcore long wearing formula or anything, but it's really comfortable. It's easy to use. I like the fact that there is a little brush at the other end, so I can just toss this in my bag and reapply if I need it. And then I've just been wearing the clear EADEM lip balm on top. This is such an amazing, hydrating, glossy lip balm. It just feels so thick, cushiony, and plush on the lips, and it feels like it actually leaves my lips feeling and looking better as it wears off. Even after it wears off, my lips still feel really nice and nourished. I also wanted to touch on a very hyped new product launch. I think this is the only new product launch that I bought in the last month or so, and it's the Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer. I bought it in 2 shades. I have it in shade 5 and shade 4. Shade 5 matches my skin tone perfectly for concealing, and then shade 4 is just a touch lighter, a touch more neutral. I feel like 5 is a touch warmer, so I like it for concealing, you know, little dark spots and blemishes, and then shade 4 is more neutral, a little bit lighter. It's great for lifting shadows. So here's the thing. Do I like this product? Yes. Do I agree with the criticism that I see online that it's just way too expensive for what it is? Also, yes. It's essentially a convenient pencil version of Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage. Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage is my favorite, #1 holy grail blemish concealer, and has been for, oh my gosh, I've been buying this product for like 12 years, 14 years. I'm pretty sure I bought this because of Lisa Eldridge. If I remember correctly, I've been using this for so long. It's been a part of my makeup routine for as long as I've been on YouTube, pretty much. And for as long as I will get breakouts, I will keep repurchasing it because it's just the best. I use it in the shade SC3. You get 2 shades, so you can customize the perfect color to conceal what you need to conceal. Now, obviously with this, you also need a brush. I love the Rephr 23 brush for pinpoint concealing, or the ciele pinpoint concealer brush is amazing. It has a very, very fine tip on one end, and it has a larger tip that's dense for buffing larger areas. So those are my favorite brushes to use for the pinpoint concealing method. And the pinpoint concealing method by itself, I remember when I watched that video on Lisa Eldridge's channel, that video was life-changing for me. For most of my teens and my early 20s, I would just use full coverage foundation powder on top of it. I just always felt the need to wear a thick layer of coverage all over my face because I was so insecure and so sad about the state of my skin and about my breakouts. I just went through so much emotional turmoil with it, essentially. And then finding that video from Lisa Eldridge and applying those principles and changing the way that I do my makeup changed my relationship with my own skin and with myself. It's something that I think, unless you struggle with acne, maybe you don't understand. That's all you can see. That's all you can see. That's all you can focus on. And it just drives you, your self-confidence, your self-love into the ground. And you just feel so sad, so self-conscious, and your instinct is just to cover everything up, to hide. And watching that video from Lisa made me realize that those blemishes are not the majority. They're the minority of the skin on my face, but just because I was only focusing on those, I kind of brainwashed myself into thinking that that was the majority. Just changing the way that I do my makeup, doing the pinpoint concealing method was life-changing for me. It opened up a whole new door to lighter coverage foundations, and it ended up changing my relationship with my skin and with myself. It made me feel more confident because I didn't feel like, I felt like it looked better. It looked more natural. It allowed me to focus on the pockets of skin that I had that were clear in the middle of the blemishes. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Just essentially spilling my heart out to you, saying that that was just a really, really meaningful video for me. So obviously I had to support when she launched the Pinpoint Concealer, but I also have to say that I agree that it is extremely expensive. When you do the price per gram, I think somebody said that this comes out to being more expensive per gram than gold, which is crazy. But I also understand that this is not the type of product that you use in large amounts. It is a pinpoint product. You only need a tiny little dot. It is a time-consuming method to do it the way Lisa instructs, but if you do have the time, it is 100% worth it. But if you struggle with acne and you have a lot of breakouts, if you have a lot of spots to cover, this is not an economical way of doing it. This is. So performance-wise, I had high expectations. I thought that it would be even better than Laura Mercier's Secret Camouflage, but honestly, from my experience, the performance is exactly the same. I don't find that the Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer lasts any longer or applies any better on my skin than Laura Mercier's Secret Camouflage. And this, you get like 5.92 grams of product for, oh my gosh, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I will write the comparison amounts on the screen. This definitely ends up being significantly less expensive per gram if you compare it to this. But at the same time, it's also like comparing a pot of gel liner with a liquid liner pen, right? The liquid liner pen will end up being more expensive per gram or per ounce than the gel liner in a little pot, just because of the nature of the product. You can't put 5 grams of product in this little skinny pencil, but then maybe don't charge as much, or if you have a luxury reputation to uphold, maybe give the people a more luxurious experience with the packaging. The packaging does not feel luxurious at all. It's just, this could be a ColourPop pencil. The branding has completely rubbed off. Within the first week of having it, the font started coming apart. I can't tell which shade is which. I'm assuming this is shade 5 because it's a little bit darker, but it's disappointing in that regard, because I understand charging more for a luxury brand. I am all about luxury makeup. I'm no stranger to throwing my money left and right for a luxury experience, but then give me a luxury experience. In this case, we're paying a premium for convenience, because this is so convenient. You can just dot it on the skin, tap, tap, and it's done. It does apply really beautifully. Sometimes if you're trying to conceal a blemish, as the blemish is healing, sometimes it gets a little crusty, a little dry. I was hoping that this would maybe kind of elegantly glide on top of that, but it doesn't. It will emphasize that dryness a little bit. Do I regret buying this? Absolutely not. Would I buy this again? Honestly, probably yes. Curious to see how long these will last me. I've been using them almost every single day, and I've barely made a dent. I don't use a lot of it. I just dot where I need it. And I particularly love this pencil application for lifting the shadows at the corner of my mouth. It's so nice for just getting a crisp edge after you apply your lipstick or your lip liner, and then just doing a little cleanup with it. It's a great, convenient way to clean up, fine-tune the makeup. Apparently there are a lot of Korean beauty brands that make this type of product, and this product itself was manufactured in Korea. So there are, especially if you have a fairer skin tone, check out Yes Style or Stylevana for some K-beauty brands with similar products. The only downside with those brands is that the shade ranges are very limited. I'm not able to find a shade match in a lot of K-beauty or J-beauty brands. They're just very fair. For me, from my experience, it's a super convenient, portable version of Laura Mercier's Secret Camouflage. If you like Laura Mercier's Secret Camouflage, you will really like this too. And for me, for the type of concealing that I do, I'll be happy if they last me a year. And if I only have to repurchase them once a year, that's fine for me personally. But if these dry out in 6 months, or I just use them up completely in 6 months, I'd be sad. I don't think I would repurchase in that case. But if I get a full year out of them, I'll be fine. I also wanted to shout out the Ciele concealer. This is a beautiful concealer, full coverage. It's a liquid concealer, and it's amazing if you're trying to cover hyperpigmentation because this contains skincare ingredients that help fight hyperpigmentation over time. You know, with a fine, thin brush for pinpoint concealing if you're trying to cover hyperpigmentation. It is a beautiful product for that. I personally find this too drying to use under the eyes or to trying to use it for more large scale concealing, but for pinpoint concealing of hyperpigmentation, this is a wonderful, wonderful concealer. And I use this in shade number 5. And the last thing I wanted to talk about before I wrap it up is fragrance. My go-to everyday fragrance has been ttsandra Coriander. This is one of my all-time favorite fragrances, ride or die, signature scents. I'm almost out of it. And I bought this bottle exactly 4 years ago. I will definitely be repurchasing. This is just so comforting. It's aromatic, it's fresh, it's green, it's clean. It smells like fancy laundry and a sea breeze and herbs. It's just so beautiful. It's woody, airy, fresh, aromatic. It just makes me happy. It smells absolutely incredible. I would love a laundry detergent in this scent. It's very, very comforting for me. So I absolutely love this. It's been my go-to comfort fragrance. And then for something new, I received this in NPR. The brand Vireo reached out and had me select, let me select one of their fragrances to try. I already have one of their fragrances that I bought a few years ago now called Free. This is one of their newer fragrances and it's called Mama Juju. And it is very, very unique, very, very interesting. Instantly takes me back to childhood, pulling out carrots out of the soil. That's the vibe. It's earthy, aromatic, a little bit spicy. There is pink pepper, black pepper, there's cardamom in here. The base is vetiver, cedar, sandalwood. It's so interesting. It's a very interesting, very unique fragrance. Very much damp soil after the rain, forest floor kind of vibe. That cardamom and pepper combo adds a nice kick to it too. It's a really cool scent. It's very much a grounding scent. I've been wearing this in the morning before I do like a morning meditation, or if I'm doing yoga or Pilates, like a slow flow type of workout. It just grounds me and makes me feel really calm and serene. So it has a really beautiful effect. It's a really cool, interesting fragrance, and it's not super strong or jarring in any way. It's a kind of fragrance that you wear for yourself. The last fragrance I wanted to mention is a fragrance that is actually my husband's, and I wanted to shout it out because it smells so incredible on him. It smells way better on him than it does on me. On me, it smells okay, but on him, it is just next level amazing. And this is a fragrance that he bought when we were on vacation together in Mexico. The resort we were staying at had a Guerlain spa. He tried a bunch on, and this one just sang on his skin, and it's Cherry Oud from Guerlain. It's cherry, rose, leather, and oud. It's very sultry, very sexy, very leathery, very smoky, but you have that sweet tart cherry element to it that just livens it up a little bit. It's nowhere near as sweet as Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This is definitely like a grown-up, smoky, leathery cousin to that. I actually like layering them together because on my skin, Cherry Oud just goes very, very smoky, leathery, but on my husband's skin, the cherry really stays prominent. So it's just one of those where you definitely need to try it on your skin because it can react differently depending on your body chemistry. But this definitely makes me want to explore more of this range of Guerlain fragrances because everything that I smelled was so interesting and so so well blended. Everything was well blended, smooth, and very, very long wearing. Obviously, they are extremely, extremely expensive and not something that I would ever recommend checking out blind. Definitely see if you can sample it at a department store or on one of the sample websites out there. But wow, this is just the perfect fragrance souvenir. It's something that my husband and I like to do anytime we're on a trip together. We usually buy a fragrance to remind us of that trip. And not only is this an amazing fragrance, especially for winter time, but it also has beautiful memories tied to it. So highly recommend getting yourself fragrance souvenirs when you are traveling because it's so nice and so special. And that's about it. Let me know what you're loving. We're gonna chat in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day and I will see you in my next video. Bye.